and welcome back to Half Hour Henshin. We are on episode 38, and it is finally time we have started talking about having an episode format.
Yeah, we're just adding so much stuff now that we have to actually fit it in
Yeah.
our namesake of half hour.
Yep.
Uh.
So we're gonna be experimenting with show formats, seeing what we think works and what we think is fun to do, especially if we're gonna be talking about Ultraman Blazer coming up in a bit. Some good
And we're
episodes.
still probably gonna forget to introduce ourselves too.
Oh god, yeah. You know what? Fuck, I was about to just go completely on without introducing us. As always, I am Sleepy Witch, joined by
DJ Azure, the 2.5D here, Talkatuber.
Yeah. We'll try to introduce ourselves still, but I mean, there's not a lot of time. Next week we will excitedly be recording right before going to see Shin Kamen. I don't think Kamen Rider Shin.
Yeah, that one's technically different.
Yep, I know. I think we had this conversation on already.
Yeah, like when we first heard about Shin Kamen Rider. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. So what is it? Less summaries and just talk about the vibes, like. But the thing is, though, like, do we want to build up to like the big things of each episode, or should we just talk about them just straight up and then just talk about whatever else is in the episode?
I don't know. So I guess we will see what we end up choosing. I mean,
oh man,
the big thing on this episode of Geats is first of all the return of Win as Punk Jack.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he has his own special, which I need to watch the special, but yeah, he has his own special, so yeah.
Oh, I gotta go watch that too. Yeah. Right. And hey, something I talked about was technically true, which is because of how specific Buffa's wish was, that Yamato can beat the shit out of him.
Yup. That is true.
I was thinking about that in the context of Geats maybe just fighting him unarmed. But yeah, with the Yamato
it would work.
Yep.
Yeah, like there's just so much that happens in these episodes, because we have the whole because we have what is it, like three different storylines that are clashing at the same time. We just have all the stuff with the Yamato, we have whatever Ace and Buffer are doing, we have whatever the higher ups are doing, because they're just gonna leave and just erase we're we could just leave this world behind, which is really messed up. We have K1 and his sister. And technically Neon is
we have Neon and his sister too.
Yeah, we have so many storylines. It's just
oh my god, my favorite part
so far
about the K1, his sister's basically being like, "Hey, you could just come live with us. Like, you don't have to run out to the future. Like, is that what you really want?"
Yep. Also, oh man, I was talking about Geats and Buffa being a duo. The whole thing where it's you basically see all these drawings that are just really amateurish.
Oh my god, the baby Buffa drawers, yeah.
Yeah, and then after Geats just shows up and just draws it just draws a super accurate Punk Jack helmet, and he's good, and then Geats calls him out, and Ace calls him out for it. It's oh yeah, the look on your face says that.
Yep.
It's so good.
Yep, but now we got a bear. I love I'm sorry. I just love how these two have become this duo, and he's like, you've played anti-hero long enough, you could leave them for dead, but instead you're taking them out, because when they get taken out by another writer, they just lose their memories, not their lives.
Yeah, it's basically like a mercy kill. I was talking about, how he's basically trying to be nice about it, but just not saying anything.
Yep. And I also really love that he's specifically okay, I mean, he's I'm not a good guy, and he's okay, if you saw them getting killed by Yamato, would you interfere? And he's shut up, that's stupid.
Yeah, I love how they just keep getting called out like that. It's great. And after that, I also love how, because of the way they're fighting, it's saying, oh yeah, you can't be hurt by Kamen Riders, and kicks him, and
it's the flex shot off of him or whatever.
Yeah, and after that it's saying, wait, why'd you hit me? And I'm saying, you can't be hurt, and then just shoots him point blank with the laser rays.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I also I also love how now that Kay was revealed himself to his sister, they're like, I'm like, well, I did this to protect you. He's like, well, I did this to protect you, and Neon's like, okay, we get it. You guys are siblings and you love each other very much. Let's just speed run this argument. We're done with it.
Yeah. I did, and at the same time, at the end of the last episode, I mean, like, kind of like what I was like, saying, in sympathy, like, I feel really bad for Archimedo. Like, it's like they're his children. They're his
Yeah,
children.
Archimedo. I feel bad for Archimedo just because the whole thing is that like we don't even know the background of how he created Yamato, but like he started growing these little guys as like his kids, as like his project, and then the DGP showed up and is like, hey, we're gonna give you like fertilizer for them, but now we're basically gonna use them, and he basically has been leading them all to like the slaughter this whole time.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is like, and after that, like the thing that really bugs me is that Baraba picks up the Notch Sparrow core
Yeah.
at the end, and I'm just like, I'm tired of this dude.
Yeah,
Don't bring him back.
I saw her picking up the Notch Sparrow core, and I'm just like, hoo.
Yeah,
I know Azure's not gonna be happy about this.
Yeah, it's like I'm so tired of him. But after that, now we have and now we get like more mention of the Grand End.
Yep.
And
we know that the new rule: audience members who travel to various time periods through a 4-dimensional gate, and if they don't go back through it, they'll get stuck there and they'll be basically erased.
Yep. And after that, talking about the Grand End, I mean, we did like Toku news for the week. We learned the trademark name for the next Kamen Rider, which is Kamen Rider Gotchard. And yeah, Gotchard. And it's like, it's spelled Gotchard, and I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, is this actually going to be Gotcha related, or like what are we doing? Because like we actually have had we've had a capsule Gotcha Kamen Rider, and that was Kamen Rider Birth, who was amazing, by the way, in O's, and I love O's.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: conceptually, like the concept of Gotcha, as in you put something in, you can get any unexpected results. I mean, that lends itself really well to a writer, but to be fair.
True. What I mean, hell, we have what's it called? Fever.
Yeah, we have Fever,
Buckle.
which is that. But yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes. We have no info, so I can't say if I'm excited about it or not because I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, talking about no info, I swear, if I see I'm gonna be saying the same thing that I say every single time with the new Kamen Rider. If I see another leak, it's like if I start seeing leaks that sound way too cool, I'm gonna be like, that's too cool. That's a fake leak. That's a fake leak. That sounds too cool. There's no goofy. Yeah, where's the goofy shit?
But talking about stuff, we got the preview for next week: historical records predating Ace birth for Strange, and also the big thing, we get to see another fight between Ace and the producer, and we get to see new Ace form.
Yep. And yeah, like and like we see that it looks incomplete because we don't have the other side of it. But it's actually really funny because like I mean I like a lot of people did complain about this like throughout so far in the Reiwa era, but about how the final form suit looks like a recolor of the base suit.
Right.
Yeah, and like I'm like, that really is only bad with 01 kinda, because 01 like just kind of like was just kind of the regular suit.
Yeah,
Saber was all blue, which is a different color from what he had. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I've seen people talk about that. I don't know how I feel that much about it because I feel like a good final suit brings in like a really good elements about what you'd like about the base suit, because the base suit is kind of like the main form, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So I feel like it needs to carry through. At the same time, just doing like a plain recolor, like this all white like form of Ace. I think he looks really good, and we'll see what they do for the bottom, or if there's going to be like a different bottom, or because it could literally be like a thing where he puts this on one side and Boost Mark II on the other.
Or
do you know?
Catalogs have leaked.
Oh, toy catalogs have leaked?
I'm not saying anything, but yeah, toy catalogs have leaked.
I know you don't look at. I don't.
yeah, you don't come across it, but I come across it all the time.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, yeah.
Okay, interesting,
Yeah,
interesting.
but yeah, like honestly, I really like the suit, but it's just really funny just how good Boost Magnum looks alone.
Boot
That it's
Magnum
like
is a
it's
really
so
iconic like outfit. I really like it.
yeah, like no other suit actually beats it out. Like it's the funniest thing about how no other suit looks as good as Boost Magnum, and that's the first thing that we got.
Yeah, to be fair, I really like this new suit. I think depending on how the bottom half looks, this one might be Boost Magnum for me, but
Mm,
obviously that's always personal preference. Also really like his Red Fox suit, but I mean, sometimes there's some things that are just you see it and like I fucking love this. Like I feel that
yeah,
way about just original fucking Rabbit Tank from Build. Like that suit
exactly.
is so fucking good, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh
Uh
my god, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like everything in I like the joke is, man, and it's still pretty much true. Is just that every suit in Build, there's not a bad suit in Build.
there's not a bad suit in Build. There's definitely some I like more than others. Like
Mm,
oh my god, Rabbit, and Tank are such a good like evolution of Rabbit Tank. And then
yeah.
really specifically, I'm not the biggest fan of a Genius model. Mainly because I think the thing that really makes Build iconic is like the really sharp eyes, and I think it having like the more rounded edges with like the bottles for the eyes. I get how it fits into the theme. That wasn't I don't know. It didn't vibe with me as well.
Mm.
I also didn't like how like we got all the like evil evolutions, and they were like all white. So I was hoping that G like his final form would have like a black theming, you know, like to contrast it or whatever.
I see what you mean. I mean, but I mean, we already got our black, the all black suits
I know, but
with a hazard.
it didn't have to be all black. I just wanted it to be black theme instead of white. But yeah,
Yeah, talk
yeah,
about colors. We have F8. So, Jasaris. I'm not gonna memorize that hex code for pink.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just smash, just smash transition to Jasaris now.
We can.
Uh,
I
yeah,
mean, to be
exactly.
fair, I was talking about white. We could smash cut the King Oger because we have the White Ranger now to deal with.
Oh, I know there's that too. But but before we talk about how good King Oger was, we should just just go over Jasaris because I'm still fucking confused.
Yeah, I think this was certainly an episode to be confused about.
Yeah, like what's super cool about it is that like we do have a new world where no one where it's like you're immature or it's a crime to speak out loud with your voice, so everyone just telepathically communicates to each other, which is really funny because when you see like the yakuza trying to bust into the door, like trying to find the girl, it's like they're still yelling mentally. It's great.
Yeah, yeah, that was interesting. I loved the vibes of this episode. I think the unnerving nature of like everyone talking telepathically and it being like a crime to speak, especially because you think about it, they talk about how because whenever you talk mentally, basically you can't lie to each other. And
Mhm.
so speaking became a crime because it's like you can deceive people by speaking, but at the same time it's like okay, but just because that's how that works, that would mean you have to make speaking illegal, you know. You just make sure you're doing like all your legal deals and stuff through mental speak or whatever, you know. Anything you want to say properly you would say it like that, but you shouldn't, that should make making sound illegal itself, you know. Like man, we went really hard on that other thing.
Yeah, it's man, it's just crazy. And after that, and after that, then we see like a blue guy, phobia,
Yeah,
spelled with an F,
yeah,
and yeah, basically approaches said mysterious girl, and it's like saying, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're the same. We're totally the same. I can speak too."
yeah. I mean, to be fair, they can speak, they just choose not to. uh
Hmm.
the big thing being Jasaris shows up, they fight over this girl, and this girl has just been told by Phobia basically that if she doesn't return to her world, it'll be destroyed.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
there's so much mystery
context,
to
that's
this.
basically all we get. We do get
Yeah.
another little bit of a flashback with her before she wakes up where she remembers like a girl. Like there's someone else who's important to her. Uh and because she
Yeah.
remembers this person, like they're like, what's going on? What's happening? Uh But yeah,
Yeah.
like
But what the big thing about it is that we get an unarmed fight, like we get an untransformed fight for like a good like 4 minutes, and it's pretty fun to watch. Like it is definitely a Toku fight.
it's definitely a Toku fight. Personally, talking like cinematography fights, I wish they would have cut back on like the motion blur a bit.
Yeah, a
Uh,
little bit.
there's definitely a couple scenes where it's like, because here's the thing, I love Toku fights, and I want to see that action nice and sharp. You know what I mean? Because I've been enjoying seeing people like do a backflip onto a kick, or like instead of dodging normally, like let me kick off the wall to like get more.
Yeah, yeah. Is it time like for us to bring up my favorite YouTube video? One of my favorite YouTube videos of all time, and Jackie Chan and the art of action comedy. I love that video. Like it is done by Every Frame of Painting, who doesn't do videos anymore. It was just like his little side project, but it is probably one of my favorite. It is like the video I like refer to like all the time whenever I talk about like how much I love like video essays. I show that video to like everyone because it's just so good about how like how like going over like just Jackie Chan and his action, and then it like teaches you about like how he does double hits in cinematography, where it's like you see things like like the attack being like from the back all the way in, and then it cuts in and the attack is only halfway through, so it's like a double hit, and it gives more impact. And it's also like talking about how like in modern like action movies, you don't see the action and the reaction in the same shot, but like all the Jackie Chan films do.
Yeah, and in a lot of
So yeah,
recent
like
movies, you'll basically be like, you'll see the punch and you'll cut to like the guy already being hit or something, like you won't
yeah,
see.
like I will admit I was getting bugged a lot by that in the Jasaris fight, but it's a project, so like it probably will get better once, because like it requires a lot of choreography, requires a lot of reshoots, especially to do a double cut of the same attack. So there's that too.
Yeah. And to be fair,
Oh,
it wasn't all that. We did get to see a bunch of scenes where are just like punching each other and we're still in the same scene or whatever.
hmm
Uh,
exactly.
so
Oh man, but
I don't
yeah,
know.
like it was fun. We got a lot of
It's
mysterious
fun.
stuff.
It's one of those. The only problem I have with this mystery is that I can't recommend it to anyone right now because I'll be like, "What's it about?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I don't know, honestly."
Yeah, and talking about cryptic, mysterious bastards.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, what's up, Jeremy?
Jeremy. God, they have such funny names in those. I still fucking love Dabowski. That's a great name to be having.
Yeah. Oh man, me and these fucking like smash transitions to our different shows.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's
talking
how
about
we got to
mysterious
do it.
bastards.
Eventually, yeah, yeah. That's just how it is. I
God,
loved this episode.
I,
Was
I
really funny.
yeah, I love this episode. So like the big thing is just that like all like the big thing is that we know that this like history, like this legend that we've been hearing for the past, we're on episode 12, 11 episodes, was written by Jeremy the entire time for both sides. He's been playing both sides for over 2,000 years.
Yep.
Just for this story. And yeah, like even the Bugnarok are following it, the the Kingdoms are following it. I do love how the beginning of the episode he just shuts up Himeno like with a web shot. It's so
Yep.
funny.
Yep. And then
Oh
immediately he
man.
gets arrested.
Yeah, but oh man, like this episode is great because like we basically just see Jeremy just basically just be this cryptic bastard the entire time. He's like say it's like oh you're angry at me, but here let me ask you a question. And then he just gets angrier and angrier. It's like, why aren't you guys reading between the lines? He's just getting so angry about throughout the episode.
It's just because they're stupid. You gotta stop giving them
They're
credit.
also exactly, they're all so dumb, and I love it.
No, it's so funny. I also really like the scene with Bugnarok where they say he's less than an insect. They're like
Oh man,
double, triple entendre with that, basically.
yeah, exactly. It's just great. And after that, like we get a lot of really funny scenes where it's like you know what, you're definitely lying, and they attach Gira to this
Oh my god,
to like
yeah.
to this lie
The lie
detector
machine was
machine.
good, but before that, I really love the when he's being like, let's talk about how to read a story. There's something that you don't know about. You should pay close attention to those parts because if you don't, you won't feel invested. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh shit, he's just meta narrating at us.
Exactly. It's so funny.
It's really funny. Oh, we
Like,
also get some much needed context as why fucking Dabowski seems to be so loyal to Rackles.
yeah, and that's
Oof.
because like the whole thing about like saying, "Oh yeah, where's my sister?" I'm like, "Oh,
She's doing well for now.
yeah," and we're just like, "Oh man, okay, so that's why there's loyalty there, and
Yep.
it's really annoying." And after that, and then we basically do find out that there is there is truth to what Jeremy's saying about being 2,000 years old, because we see that there's been a Spider-Man going around.
God, that's so funny. But going back to the thing, yeah, we get the lie detector and gear and Tombo asks Jira, "Oh, you're a good guy actually, aren't you?" And he's like, "No, I'm the wicked king." And he just gets fucking shocked by lightning.
Yeah, and after that, like even
Like, all right.
Even Shiakara wears it, because
Yeah.
they want to see if it's not the lie. Say it's like Jan was an idiot, and then just instantly just fucking dies.
Yep. And the thing is that like he dies and then like they just stop worrying about him, but you can see the people in the background trying to resuscitate him, like, oh, he's dead for real.
Yeah,
And just
exactly.
like they just not paying it.
And then Jeremy just picks it back up and puts it on without prompting, and just keeps talking. And it's like I'm just saying the truth, guys. It's so funny. And the funniest thing too is that everyone's being dumb. We basically see we see the flower ninja maze, like saying, "Oh no, who took him?" It was obviously Ishbana because of all the flowers. And then it's like, "Oh wait, oh I guess we gave it away."
Yep.
But honestly, the truth about Jeremy though actually does get really sad. Like he's like, once he drops the mysterious bastard look, he actually looks really pained that people don't know about the truth. How there was a sixth king, or King Oger, like a prince back in the day, that fell in love with the Bugnarok, who is voiced by Kikoku Inoue, who voices a lot of motherly characters in anime. She's like the go-to voice for motherly characters. It is awesome how they used her.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we find out that he is half Bugnarok, half human, and it's really interesting.
Also, can we
'Cause,
talk
like,
about how fucking Giro, when he's trying to figure this out, has like a fucking Jimmy Neutron brain blood?
it's like, do you understand who I am now? It's like
I have
we
no
spent, like, a
idea.
minute- exactly, we spent a minute doing the brain. They're so dumb. I love these guys. Oh man. Like the funny thing too is that except for Rita, no one here at least is pretending to be smart. It's not like the Don Bros who all think they're the most normal person, but they're not.
Yeah.
Like these guys, they're all kings, but they all do they are so unabashedly them
Yep.
that it's like them acting the way them acting dumb makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we see stuff about the sixth hero, Jeremy's feels like an outcast, and then he's just just sad about it,
Yep.
and then
my favorite part was everyone was like, "You could have just fucking said that," and they're like, "What?
exactly.
You don't want them to fight? That's totally fine, you know." And it's like, if you would have just been specific, none of this would have happened.
Yeah,
And he's
what's
just like,
it's really nice, but there's no it's like he's definitely the theater kid, but I need the drama.
yeah, I love that. Like, they all say this, and his immediate response is, "I love you." And then we get like a pause, and then it's like, "There's no word there's no phrase that I hate the most. It has no subtext. It has no flair. Oof.
It is the drama.
It's too direct, no artistry, and it's cliche to boot. Not to mention a lack of subtext. I could never write something like that."
It's so funny.
And then it's like, what's the point? And then it's like, what's the point if people don't understand it? And then fucking Dabasi, but that is, that is, how to that is when you grapple with creation, that is what it means to be a creator. Well said, Master Wordsmith. And he's like, oh, someone, that was sarcasm, but it seems to be appreciated regardless.
Yeah, but it's really interesting though. Like like Jeremy's introduction to the show is now like he doesn't want humans and Bugnarok to fight because he's the product of love between Bugnarok and a human.
Yep.
So it's really interesting. And what's super cool is that Death Narok shows up and he's like, "Yo, it's like I'm here to fight." And then
Yep.
it's like Jeremy says, "I got this."
Yep. And I love, for one thing, title wise, I love the King of the In Between.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the king of the in between. Like, what's I think like direct translation is that he's the king of all.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, because he means all humans and Bugnaroks.
Yeah.
He does his royal arms, which is sealed. I fucking love the so it's God Kumonos. So I guess that, gives away my theory about God Kumo having a rider and there being different ones for all the different King Oger gods. These spider Kumonos instead of just God Kumo. But we had to see a really cool fight with him doing a bunch of really cool shit. I love the fucking gun Venom, and he's like, "Your power is little more than an illusion, or whatever." And it's like, why do you think people pull tricks for the surprise?
Yeah, exactly. But like the really interesting about that though is when he transforms, like pretty much like like he said it multiple times, but Yama says, "I never made anything like that." So like this technology that Jeremy has is outside of what he knows.
Yep, but I mean, he was even saying that in the earlier thing where he's the one who taught the guy who taught Yanma how to use computers. So he's the one who taught him about technology. And he was saying, what was the first one of the god spirits you were able to bring back? It was God Kumo, and it's like, because I gave humanity a little hint on how to bring King Oger back. It's really cool. It's, I don't know. I love his King of All. I love the King of the In Between. I love the, like, I'm going to create a thing for people who are marginalized and who don't have a place to belong to.
Yeah,
really good vibe. It reminds me
and then,
of and there's another title in like a web novel I read forever ago, where in one of the challenges they could compete to basically have like the titles of kings for like this game kind of thing. And one of the guys basically knows that there's a way to do like a secret mission to like destroy the whole thing, and the title he ends up getting at the end, he's the only one who can get a king title, and it's literally King of a Kingless World.
Yeah, and I love how the ending of the show. I love how the ending of the episode is him walking off untransformed and basically just talking about how everyone, Bugnarok and humans, swore their fealty to the king of the in between. Dosa. And then so the story goes. Like you said you love that phrase. So the story goes.
Yeah.
And the fact that it actually is his actual catchphrase is so good.
I love it. I love it so fucking much. I didn't think I would like anyone more than I like some of these King Oger, but Jeremy's out here, bro.
Yeah, like okay, so I like to talk about how much I love like how a good extra makes a
season good or bad.
Yeah, makes a season good or bad. He basically combines two things. He basically combines two extras that I did not like, which are Noelle from Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, and well, I mean, I didn't finish it, but Kanalo from Rue Soldier, whose writer is the one that is writing, who is writing King Oger right now, and like, cause like like we basically had a very traditional like Prince in Rue Soldier in Kanalo, and then we basically had like a dual product in Lupat. And the fact that like it basically feels like they combined them a little bit to make Jeremy just makes me a little bit happy. It feels like their the writing is going to be a bit better for well, actually no, it already is showing to be a lot better than those two, because I really am liking Jeremy, because he's been around since the start of the show, and now he's basically just like he's here, and we're seeing that he's actually going to have some infighting with the rest of the King Ogers because he doesn't want them to fight the Bugnarok.
Yeah, it's really fucking good. I like the vibe. I kind of like the vibe of having a sixth ranger who's like not part of the group and who kind of does his own thing, and he kind of joins up with them when he needs to. But
hey, you should totally watch Zenkaiger.
Zenkaiger, yeah, I need to watch Zenkaiger. There's a lot of Here's the thing, I need to watch G Witch because I've watched the first episode and have not gotten around to watching more.
Meanwhile, I'm just like looking at my plastic models of all the of Gundam Ariel right now.
I need to get a Gundam Ariel. Actually, I went into one of the Japanese style stores here where they sell a bunch of like Japanese products, and I saw something that I ended up not being able to resist. But
Oh, what was it?
I ended up picking up the SH figure arts for Don Momotaro.
Hey, yeah, that's okay.
It wasn't even about getting the specific figure. It was about the fact that I actually saw that like in public. Like I went somewhere and they just had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't think I would have ordered it if I'd seen it online. I wouldn't have like pre-ordered it or whatever. But there's something about going into a physical store near me and seeing an SH figure arts from a Sentai that hasn't been brought over here that I'm like, oh man, I want to get this so bad.
Yeah, it's oh man,
They also
it's so good.
They also because I've been going there a little bit because one of my friends at the tattoo shops collects these little things called Sunny Angel babies, and they're like little grab bag babies. They wear cute little hats basically, and whenever she thinks she does like a little treat, she'll go buy herself one, and sometimes we'll go with her. And the like Japanese store is right there next to the place where she gets them, and they have Kamen Rider Keats little grab bags now.
Ooh,
so they're
okay,
just little guys. They come with basically they're just little rubber like toys for the show. They come with the main riders from like that very early like part of it. So it's like obviously it's Tycoon, Nago, and Geets, but it's also Genpen and Mary and stuff. So I've been pulling those because they're like $4.99 or whatever. So every once in a while I'll get some. My only problem now I have a couple duplicates. I have like 2 Buffas and 2 Nagos, but I still haven't gotten Geet or Tycoon. I'm so sad.
Oh dang. Okay.
I want Tycoon so bad.
Yeah.
But that's how Kamen Rider Gotchard is. Okay. But with that, 30 minutes are up. We have talked about the main Sentai stuff we want to talk about. Next week, you'll hear from us like literally before we go see Shin Kamen Rider. Yeah. Oh man. If anything, technically, whenever we get back, we could technically just hop back on again.
We totally could.
Yeah. All because my stuff is a bit later technically just because of the time zone, so I'll let you. We'll plan that out actually on Wednesday next time. So yeah, thank you so much.
We'll see.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. We will see you next week.
Later.
This program is brought to you by
Our Unending Love of Tokusatsu.
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe
and hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
you can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.